Welcome in, Iowa Hawkeye fans, to another season, episode, whatever you want. It's June now. Welcome to another episode of the Hawkeye Tailgate Report. I'm Luke Myers. Joining me, we got the whole crew tonight. Joey Myers, Austin Myers, and Sam Middleton. Fellas, welcome back.
I'm all hot and bothered, Luke. Glad to be back.
Let's just say I'm glad to be wearing compression shorts right now.
Yeah. If I said that the flag wasn't at least halfway up the pole, I'd be lying.
Alrighty. Okay, so, I guess we'll just get right into it here. We'll start with some basketball notes before we move on to football season here. So let's start with Tyler Cook, who announced he is going to the NBA draft, or going to try to get drafted. Who actually thinks he's going to get drafted?
For anybody, I do.
I think there's a higher chance than when he first declared.
Yeah, I think he'll go late second round.
Early third.
Early third.
Also signed.
I saw a mock draft the other day, and it had him going 39th. I honestly couldn't believe that when I saw it, and for all the people that called him an idiot when he first initially declared, they gave him a 0% chance of getting drafted, and he's kind of.
I think his highlight film and his athleticism is what people are looking at.
Yeah. Also, apparently, in the entirety of his pre-draft process, he did everything the exact same way that he played the second half against Tennessee, and that basketball player can play in the NBA. The Tyler Cook that we saw for most of the year, probably not. But if he's playing like he did then, now, I mean, he can get drafted, but I don't know if he's going to be consistent enough.
I mean, Aaron White got drafted, and look at him.
And he never played a second in the NBA.
You do not drag Aaron White's great name through the mud. He was
I'm
always
not dragging it. I'm saying if you get drafted, it doesn't guarantee you're going to make a roster.
Well, no, but I mean,
but Aaron White's also white, so
he was also very good for all of the games he played, whereas Tyler Cook wasn't necessarily always a very good player on the floor.
But definitely could have been the best on the floor every time.
Oh,
yes,
definitely the most
absolutely
talented. I would say. Maybe the Tennessee game, Grant Williams was more talented than him, but I honestly believe Tyler Cook was probably the most talented player amongst any team or any other player that stepped on the court against Iowa this season.
Except for Joe Wieskamp. But.
Oh, yeah. Joe Threescamp. It's a good thing he's coming back.
Yeah, he had me scared for a while.
Yeah.
He's gone after next year.
Yeah, he is.
Which means he's going to put up 25 a game this year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also our roster is decimated at this point.
I think I might try out.
All right.
So Caffrey should have some tryouts at this point.
So you bring up the decimated lineup. We also lost Isaiah Moss to a transfer, which I'm kind of indifferent about. There were a couple of halves of basketball last year where he performed very great, but then there were also halves of basketball where he would go completely.
He made the team worse.
Yeah, exactly. He would be afraid to shoot the ball, or Fran would pull him and it would lose all momentum he had. I don't know. He was going down to Arkansas now, which, I mean, is it an improvement for him to go there? I don't really know.
No. Well, we honestly won't. Only reason we're going to hear about him is because they'll get retweeted onto our feed by reporters and stuff. But otherwise, we would be like, Arkansas's basketball team?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's going to hurt. Moss, he had the ability to be really good, and I think next year he could have taken a step forward and been more consistent. And it seemed like this year Fran lost confidence in him fast and would just sit him for the rest of the game. He'd play real well in the first half and then wouldn't see him the whole second half. I don't know what the deal was with that.
It was basically in crunch time, it was either Moss or Bear. And I think we're all in agreement. I would rather have Bear because his defense.
Yeah, I agree
really
too.
Good. Rebounding, blocking shots.
Them offense, defense, maybe, because Isaiah Moss is probably the most definitely I'd say the most dynamic guard that we had on the team. As far as being able to create a shot for himself and running a fast break and attacking the hoop, we're losing a lot on this team from that. I mean, obviously Wieskamp is going to be great, but without him, what dynamic guard player are we going to have now?
Yeah.
I guess that we can transition to the fact that Jordan Bohannon is probably going to redshirt this season because he just had a hip surgery.
And Austin Myers with a great transition there. So, yeah, Jordan Bohannon, how long did we see it? Like, I've seen 9 to 12 months is the rehab for his hip surgery. Is that kind of what you guys...
6 to 9.
6 to 9?
Nice,
yeah. But
like, actually, though.
yeah, no, but his hip surgery is going to... Like, I saw that news, and I got so disheartened because... everybody, literally everybody in the country was really high on Iowa basketball after the NCAA tournament ended this year. Like, so many people, analysts all around the country, were really hyped for this team. And losing Jordan Bohannon single-handedly won us both Indiana games last year, the Northwestern game. There's another one I can't think of off the top of my head right now. But, if he didn't play in those games late, we're going to have 3 or 4 other losses and don't make the NCAA tournament.
He played really well in the second half against Tennessee, too.
Oh, yeah. When he was shoving, the momentum shifted when he started shoving that guy at the point or at the top of the key and they didn't call a foul.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I don't even a little bit resulted in a double foul because Bohannon was literally just two-handed shoving that Tennessee defender in the chest for 5 minutes straight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But any other thoughts on the Bohannon injury?
I think he should.
I feel like he's playing this year.
I think he shouldn't even think about playing this year. He should just because I don't want him if he's anything less than 100%. Because I don't think, quite frankly, we're going to be very good next year, and I would rather have a full season of healthy J-Bo than not.
All right, hear me out. If he doesn't play next year at all, that means. I think Wieskamp's going to be gone after next season, so he will never have a chance to play with Wieskamp again. Maybe the best true athlete Iowa's had in a long time come through, the best basketball player.
Hold on. Best basketball player, not true athlete.
Tyler Cook.
Okay, true athlete. All right, you got me there. But, yeah, the best basketball player. And then after that, you're going to have Garza and Bohannon basically running the team. Unless Patrick McCaffrey pans out to be a really good ball player and Toussaint ends up being a good ball player. But that's yet to be determined. So, I don't know. I could see him coming back late next year, but there's no...
Well, he already said if he's not ready by the beginning of the year, he's not playing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Especially if Iowa is doesn't have a chance at making the tournament, why risk losing a red shirt and basically just giving away an entire season to play 5 games that don't matter? I don't think that it would be in the best interests of him or the team to try and come back next year. As much as I'd like to see him, because as far as fun players to watch, we've lost the 3 most dynamic ones on the team this season go. So I don't know. After immediately after the Tennessee game this year, after we lost, I was that sucks, but I'm looking forward to next basketball season because we were supposed to have a bunch of returning players, some people coming off of red shirts and players coming in. And I was this team can be really good. And now we've lost Bohannon, we've lost Moss. Those are probably the 3, I don't know, 3 of the best 4 players on the team. And now, I don't know.
I think Garza is more important than Moss was.
Yeah, me too. I agree a lot there.
Moss was so inconsistent, but when he was on, he would just take over a game. I don't know. I guess he just didn't do that enough, which is part of the problem.
We always just kept thinking it was going to happen, as he got older, and it never did. So
yeah, if he could have just captured that, what was it, 2 seasons ago, the 19 points and
if he just did that every game,
yeah. I know. Why can't he do that all the time? Yeah. That last minute 30 stretch at Minnesota when he scored 16 or 19 points. If he could have just done that every time he was on the basketball court, we probably would have never lost a basketball game, honestly.
It's worth noting we lost that basketball game, by the way.
We did. Well, he's the only reason that game ended up being interesting because we were down by 2 with 4 minutes left, and then he tried to put the team on his back, but came a bit short. But yeah, I don't know. It's just sad to think about what next basketball season could have been, when where we left off.
I still think we're gonna we're going to be competitive in not the top quarter of the Big Ten, but the top half of the Big Ten.
Well,
even if Bohanna doesn't play.
And we have a relatively difficult non-conference too compared to what we've been playing recently. I mean, we got to play Cincinnati again, I know for sure, and we play in a tournament. Is it Las Vegas? I think for like the fall tournament next year. There's some good teams down at that one. I can't remember who they are, but it's gonna be frustrating to watch. It's gonna be the Wieskamp and Garza show, that's for sure, though. That's a guarantee. Wieskamp might put up 40 next year in a game. It's probably
we get Penzel back, Nunji. Our front court's gonna be big. If Toussaint can be serviceable, like Bohannon only averaged like 11 points a game. If Toussaint can get you 8, I mean,
he'll have to.
Joey Buckets will do the rest.
Yeah, no kidding. He's him and Garza are going to be freaks next year for the team. But we have one more basketball player to talk about here, and it comes from the women's side. Megan Gustafson got drafted, I believe, like number 13 overall. 17 by the Dallas Wings or something like that. And immediately got cut like 2 weeks later. And I don't know if Dallas knew what they were doing or not. Sam, you mentioned they already had like kind of established bigs. But they were this close to having a huge Iowa fan base come down or increase their viewership by God knows how much percent. Just seems like a stupid move.
Probably 1,000,000%, and I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah. I don't know where to go to watch WNBA online, but I was considering looking for it, and now absolutely not.
There's a Reddit link somewhere, but not anymore.
That link's gone. Iowa fans now hate the Dallas Wings for some reason.
I'm actually going to watch them to cheer against them now.
You did, rightfully so. They cut our girl. You can't do that. She's the AP and Naismith Player of the Year. I cannot believe a WNBA team wouldn't pick her up at least to give her a shot.
It kind of reminds me of like Jimmer Fredette, though. Like all the accolades he had in college, and then he gets the NBA, and it's like, oh, yikes. But again, not really the same. Yeah, he's on the Phoenix Suns, I think.
Oh, really? I thought he was over at the Shanghai Sharks.
No, he was getting like 50 a game over there.
Yeah, I know. Him and Stephon Marbury.
He was getting retweeted. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
We do have actually another basketball thing we need to talk about. I don't know if you want to do it now, but that TBT tournament or...
Oh, the basketball tournament? Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about it. I don't know much about it. I just know Gustafson's playing in it now. And I saw she like the first woman to ever participate in the tournament. Yeah, so that's...
First woman.
I mean, she's looking at our roster. Somebody should pull up our roster. I got a crappy computer.
Here, I'll try and find it.
We have a squad.
Isn't Nicholas...
like a $2 million payout for the champion?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's stupid because it's single elim. Like, they should make it AAU style. I want to see these teams like play each other. That would be fun.
Isn't Bear on this tournament or in this team?
Bear, Jock. They got Josh Young from Drake. Who's that other Drake guard that just got Reed Timmer?
Ooh, he lit up Iowa a couple
Wes
times.
Washburn. Like, that's a team. Like, they got who's the Iowa State?
White guy.
Tyrus McGee, Marcus Pfizer. The old Marcus Pfizer's playing. That should be a good team.
Oh, what's the name of our team?
Just graduated. You should be. I would just type in TBT Iowa team on Google.
Iowa United.
Yeah.
I can contact the GM through this link.
You should sign up though and like pledge your allegiance because the more people that get pledged to them, the more money they get.
Okay.
Wait, what is this even?
What?
What is this even?
It's a basketball tournament.
It's just like it's basically an AAU tournament for like professional basketball players, but you can't be in the NBA. That's like the one stipulation.
Jeff Horner's playing. You want me to just run down the lineup one more time?
Horner's the coach.
Oh, really?
So, could we get Jock?
Yeah, we got. Here, I'll just run down the lineup. All right, ready? Nicholas Bear, Marcus Pfizer, Megan Gustafson, Derek Hanna. It says Jeff Horner's head coach. Okay. Peter Jock, Tyrus McGee, Nick McGlynn, Cyrus Tate, former Iowa big.
Cyrus Tate?
Cyrus Tate?
Yeah, Cyrus Tate. We got some dogs. Some Licklider boys.
Seriously, he's still playing? That's awesome.
Matt Tibby, Reed Timmer, Josh Young, and here it just says James B. Oh, it says fan leader.
Wait, Wes Washburn's not on the team anymore?
No, he gets $10,000 if the team wins, though. This James B guy.
Nice.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah, so that's...
No Washburn's a game changer, though.
You don't let Jock get hot. If Jock gets hot, you establish Bear, Cyrus Tate, and Gustafson in a rotation.
You would have told me 5 years ago Cyrus Tate, Josh Young, and Peter Jock would play on the same basketball team. You're a liar. I'm watching. I don't care. I'm streaming that.
Yeah,
this is yes, we need to figure out how we can watch this.
Reed Timmer from deep. Guys, we got
some shooters. Josh Young, he can fill it up.
And I don't know why, but it has a number by Jeff Horner, so maybe he's a player coach. It says number 0.
Jeff's getting up there.
Hey,
I don't know if he can still get around.
Whoa, he's...
But Cyrus Tate? Didn't he play with Jeff Horner?
No, I think he was Licklider, wasn't he?
Yeah, Cyrus Tate was through the rough days.
The lost Licklider years. Who was the other
wasted talent? Him and Aaron Fuller.
Oh, you remember Tony Freeman? Tony Freeman was really good.
He was freshman when the Horner and those guys were seniors, I think.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he was there for 2007 too. So the first Licklider. But
oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a squad. I didn't know it was this good of a team, but gives me something to cheer for.
It's probably going to be like all former UCLA and Texas players.
Yeah,
probably.
You get out in California, they got some boys, I'm sure, some good teams. But
when does it start? You got a date?
Let me check. Oh, games to take place in July and August and air on ESPN.
Oh, nice.
Oh, fuck yeah.
How has Jock gotten a shot with the Suns yet?
What, Joey?
How has Jock not gotten a shot with the Suns yet? Wasn't he like tearing up the G League? I was seeing highlights of him all the time.
And considering considering the Suns are a miserable franchise, a miserable existence.
The Suns are bad, but it's not because they lack young talent. It's because they're the Suns and they're cursed, I think.
Right.
Because they actually have a pretty decent...
They no longer have Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire. That's why.
Those Suns teams were so fun. I hated them. I was a Lakers fan back then.
Yeah. Steve Nash back in the day could ball.
Hey, that Iowa team has a chance to play in Kentucky, Tennessee, or Kansas. We should go.
Aren't those all three the same thing?
Shut up. All right. We really got to move on now, guys. But yeah, basketball tournament. We got
you're going to need to cut some of this.
No, we're not cutting any of it. This is how it goes in. All right. So we're going to move on here, and we're going to transition to football. And Oliver Martin, former Iowa City West football player, he was a 4 or 5 star recruit.
This is
4. We'll call it 4.5. He decided to go to Michigan instead of traveling 2 miles east to Kinnick Stadium every weekend. Whatever. And
going to be west, though.
Yeah.
No, he went to Iowa City West, so he traveled east to Kinnick. But
no, what?
Yeah, you need to get to Kinnick some more. Apparently, you're not.
Is Iowa City West, right? It's east of Kinnick, I thought.
No.
I made out with a girl in the high school parking lot one time. I don't remember where it was. It was like a long time ago.
All right, moving on. So Oliver Martin decided to go to Michigan over Iowa before the start of last season, and now he's opening.
You're early. 2 years ago.
2 years ago, my bad. And he's in the transfer portal now, and there's a little speculation that he could come back to Iowa City and play for the Hawkeyes. And I would just like to address how idiotic some Iowa fans are on Twitter saying, "Oh, we don't want Oliver Martin. He didn't want us in the first place." How stupid is that?
Incredibly.
Yeah.
Like, are you stupid? Or, like, if it was like an offensive lineman or something where we don't really have, like, issue developing, like, you take the 6th string wide receiver at Michigan. no matter who it is.
Yeah. Swallow your pride. Get over it.
And how often does Iowa get a really good wide receiver recruit? And picture this: just next after, is there a chance he could play this year? I saw there was a question being raised about that.
Wait, did you not see he's not transferring? Did you not see the?
Oh no shit! Really? I did not see
I'll
that.
tag you in the tweet. Their wide receiver coach tweeted out a picture of all the wide receivers together, and he was there.
Ah, damn! Because I was starting to have some dreams of Brandon Smith and Oliver Martin lining up on opposite sides of the ball.
With Tyrone Tracy in the slot.
And with, who's the running back coming in? Tyler Goodson in the backfield. Talk dirty to me. That gets me going. And then we got Deuce Hogan under center. That would have been a squad. But, yeah. So, I don't know.
All the woulda, coulda, shouldas we get as Iowa fans. Like
Melvin Gordon goes to Wisconsin. Yeah, we have a lot of them.
If Sean Green comes back for his senior year,
if Sean Green comes back,
oh my, we were literally national champs. No doubt.
If we don't run the naked bootleg out of our own end zone, we're playing a national championship game.
No, we got it. That's the.
We wouldn't have had to if Sean Green was on the team.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, we had Brandon Wager that year, and who was the other back? Adam Robinson or Marcus Coker?
They were both fantastic, and then we were going through that stretch of Iowa football when our running backs either kept getting arrested or getting girls pregnant and then leaving the team. That was really unfortunate because all of those guys were freaking good.
Yeah.
Dude, Marcus Coker, did that ever even break?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't like to touch that situation because I'm not 100% clear on what went down, but.
I saw him after a game one time. Oh my god, his arms were bigger than my thighs. Okay. I tweeted that picture to you.
All right, cool. I'll take a look at. I'll take a look at it. Yeah. So I don't even know how we got on this topic.
Oliver
it was
all the what ifs.
Oh, the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Yeah.
With the Oliver Martin situation.
So moral of the story is Iowa misses out on a lot of good stuff. But one thing they don't miss out on is a 7:00 game start for their first game of the year against Miami, Ohio. Is anybody else extremely aggravated
just
by
say
this?
Miami.
Yeah, just Miami.
By the University of Miami, Ohio. Yeah. So is anybody else a little frustrated by that decision?
I don't think that it's not an 11:00 start. I think that we're wasting a night game on Miami, Ohio.
I don't think there's a limit on night games though.
Yeah, but usually Iowa max 3 home games is going to be night, and I don't know.
Well, 2.
Yeah.
Usually 2 kickoffs, and then the 2:30 ones in November end up being night games because it gets dark at 4:00.
I don't know.
We have Penn State and Minnesota at Kinnick this year, and somebody said
Penn State will be a night game.
Yeah. Somebody told me that they didn't want to do. I'm pretty sure those 2 games are back to back. They didn't want to do back to back night games, which I don't really get why.
As a tailgating fan, the longer that I get to drink beer before the football game, the better. So 7:00 kickoff is perfect for me. Yeah. The SEC fans are so entitled. First of all, they think they're the greatest conference in America and that God himself smiles down upon them. Fuck that. I mean, yeah, they are good, but that's not where I'm going with this. Then they have the fucking nerve to complain about 12:00 kickoffs because that's too goddamn early. Try being in the central fucking time zone. We get 11:00.
Hey,
that's bullshit.
Low key, love the 11 a.m. kick when I just roll out of bed and it's kickoff.
Yeah, I do like that for road games. You get the game over with, and then you can go on with the rest of your day. But I like the 2:30 starts for when they're in Iowa City the most. But I just think it's ridiculously stupid to open up against Miami, Ohio. It's going to be on the Big Ten Network, that game is. And it being a night game, if we lose that game, there will be so many endless
We're
jokes.
not going to lose that game.
I'm just saying, if we do, there would be so many jokes about how, something.
If the Raptors beat the Warriors, not going to happen.
We're not talking about that, Sam.
I'm just saying things that aren't going to happen.
Well, I mean, I don't. It's not going to happen. But I've seen Iowa do some stuff over the years that has really frustrated me. So I'm
Was
not.
AJ Epinesa on that team though?
Oh, I'm hard. Yeah, no, he's gonna be the Heisman Trophy winner this year. But yeah. So I don't know.
Prediction.
Well, they call me Big Takes, so and
Call you.
all right, I'm gonna defend this right now. I don't call myself Big Takes. The boys at Student Union Sports call me Big Takes. I'm gonna defend this. AJ Epinesa plays a little under 50% of the time last year, 50% of the snaps, and if you doubled his numbers, they would have blown Ndamukong Kung Su's Heisman campaign out of the water. And he was like the last.
Wait, he won this Heisman?
No, he was I think he was a finalist, one of the top 3. And he was like the last legitimate defensive player to be considered for that award.
I think you're forgetting about Manti Te'o.
Oh, yeah.
Who wasn't
Rip his girlfriend.
Yeah, he forgot his girlfriend. Yeah, I forgot about him, but no, yeah. I don't know. I think Epi, even if he performs at if he does 25% more than what he did last year, that would put him at like 14 sacks, I think. And 14 sacks in 12 games. Here, let me. And I just love the guy.
I think he'll have less sacks than he did last year.
He had 10.5 last year.
But I think he'll have a better year. I think he's going to get so many. He's getting the Claiborne his senior year treatment. Remember his senior year? We were all excited he came back. He just he was taking on double teams all year, and Carl Kaluk ate that year.
It's kind of like the Desmond King effect too, because they just quit throwing his way once.
Literally just didn't throw to one side.
And everyone was like, "Wow, Greg Maben is terrible," but it's like, he's just getting picked on because Desmond King's on the other side.
No, I hated Greg Maben. Greg Maben was horrible.
Today, right there.
He was so
He's
bad.
He's in the NFL.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just sticking by that. I think that he was not good.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, that's Adam Shada.
All right. We got one more topic to get to here before we move to our great debate we're going to have. This is a Nebraska-related question. I'm not saying we're afraid of either of these guys, but who do you fear most? Fred Hoiberg coaching the basketball team or Scott Frost coaching the football team?
Scott Frost, 100%. Because Fred Hoiberg was good, but he was coaching at a Power 5 school, specifically the Big 12, which has a history of having very good basketball teams. Scott Frost was at UCF and made them a national talking point for football, and that takes a whole hell of a lot to do. And now he's coming back to Nebraska, having played there and won a national championship, and they love him to death. And I don't know, he's bringing a lot more energy to that program than Hoiberg is in the basketball team, especially because Nebraska fans are already thinking that they're going to win the national championship this year. They have better odds to win the Big Ten West than Iowa does this year after they won 4 games last season. So even the national media thinks that Scott Frost is immediately going to do all this stuff for Nebraska. So yeah, he's definitely the one that concerns me more.
If as long as Kirk Ferentz is at Iowa, Nebraska football does not scare me, nor Scott Frost. Fred Hoiberg, however, I don't know, this guy doesn't seem to have any social skills at all, but he can coach basketball. And Nebraska's not bad last year. Tim Miles couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag. But Fred Hoiberg, he's already brought in 17 transfers. It's Fred Hoiberg by a million miles for me. I just feel like Nebraska's going to give us fits in basketball now just because of him. Yeah. He's got that NBA pedigree now. Hey, I coach the NBA. Come play for me. I'll get you in the league. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try to not waste too much of my precious breaths on talking about Nebraska, but it's Fred Hoiberg because, A, I've never had any reason to be afraid of Nebraska in football, and B, Nebraska's basketball program has been trending in the right direction, and getting a coach like Hoiberg can only help. So,
I agree with Joey and Sam. Scott Frost has lost so many goddamn recruits over the last year and a half that he's been at Nebraska. It's an unreal number once you look it up. And Fred Hoiberg
fucking play at Nebraska because it's Nebraska.
PJ Fleck number of recruits, or
I think it's not as much as PJ Fleck. That guy's just a perennial douchebag. But he's just lost so many recruits, and I know Fred Hoiberg is a good coach. He's kicked Iowa's ass a few times in basketball in the past, and he's just he does scare me a little bit because seeing him come in, I know what he is capable of, and I'm just kind of disheartened that they were able to make that move, and I don't know.
And his daughter's really hot.
Yeah, he's got that for him. And I want to hate Hoiberg so much, but like I genuinely can't. Like I don't know why. He just seems like a really nice guy, and he doesn't seem like an Iowa State person at all.
Yeah, he needs to cheat on his wife or something, and it needs to get leaked because I don't hate him at all either, and it's just I can't hate him.
That or somebody's got to resurface some old racist or homophobic tweets of him from when he was 12 or something like that.
We'll
or on MySpace.
We'll get our research department on that.
And the old Hoiberger from Applebee's was phenomenal also when they had that. So
I never had that.
I always thought that looked better than the Franwich too.
Yeah, the
Franwich is Philly. It's stupid.
Well, it's because he's from Philly.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't just be more creative.
I never ordered the Hoiberger just
because it's an Iowa State reference.
Yeah, just because. Yes,
it's
exactly.
amazing you guys could afford that stuff. I was always there for the 2 for $20. So.
Oh, half off apps. That's where you got to capitalize.
Well, back when they had the Hoiberger around, I was usually just bumming food off my parents. So.
That's true.
Not a lot has changed. No, I'm just fucking. I'm just kidding, Stin. All right.
That was good. No, don't apologize for that. That was good.
So now we're gonna move on. Since it's not the football season yet, it's coming. I think we're 12 and a half weeks away. But we're gonna try and do a debate every 2 weeks. And this week's debate is going to be which defensive line was better, Adrian Claiborne, Broderick Binns, Carl Klug, Mike Daniels, Christian Ballard, or Matt Nelson, Anthony Nelson, Parker Hesse, AJ Epinesa, and Sam Brinks. Now remember that...
Wait, hold on. You just say Sam Brinks instead of Chauncey Golston?
Yeah, I did. I just went by the top 5... Okay, well then let's get rid of Daniels and Brinks because they have the lowest stats of both the guys. Of all the guys listed.
You can't get rid of the one guy who still dominates in the NFL.
Well, no, I'm saying, though, his college statistics were the worst.
Because he was overshadowed by the other guys.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay, so the debate is
This debate's going well.
It's off to a hot start.
We're already debating.
Which group would you rather have, or who was better? Now, remember the Nelson, Hesse, Epi, and Golston group. Golston group played 3 less seasons than the other group. So, who would like to start here?
You should start, because I want to tell you you're wrong immediately when you're done talking.
Awesome, because I know Sam and I are on opposite sides here. No disrespect to these guys, because Claiborne, Klug, and Daniels all played in the NFL, and I'm pretty sure Binns and Ballard had a little time as well, a little service time. But I'm going to go with Nelson, Hesse, Epi, because AJ Epinesa is by far the best of the group. By far. I don't know. I'm surprised I don't have a smart-ass remark yet about how Claiborne was better than him. I don't know if you guys...
Claiborne has all-time sack record for a single game in the NFL, does he not?
We're not counting NFL. This is strictly on a...
Let me know when AJ Epinesa's picture's hanging from the walls at Kinnick.
Hey.
Let me know.
True.
It will be shortly. All right, give him a break.
Let's be real. Let's give 10 years and he'll be up there. But
it'll be less than that. Claiborne got up there and all you have to be is a consensus All-American.
Up there.
All right.
Was up there last year.
All right.
Was he? Okay, yeah. Give it 2 years. He'll be up there.
Okay. Would you like me to read you some stats to shut you up a little bit?
It's not help, but go ahead.
Sounds like something a Westbrook fan would say.
Shut up. So if you double Epinesa's... Hey, Austin, would you please shut the hell up? So if you double Epinesa's stats for 2 years or 4 years instead of 2, he would have 104 tackles, 44 tackles for losses, and 30 sacks. Whereas Claiborne...
Wait, are you making up stats?
No, I have them right here. I looked them up.
You can't just predict how many sacks AJ's going to have.
I'm just saying, if you double his production over the first 2 years where he played under 50% both the seasons, you can make that assumption. Do you think? Okay,
seems like an Epi situation, Luke.
Do you think Epi will or will not have 10 sacks over the next 2 seasons?
Luke, I'm not trying to argue.
He's not going to play 2 seasons.
Yeah,
hypothetically speaking. Well, then, so he's... You guys are frustrating the hell out of me over here. Because
I don't think any of us here are going to try and argue the point that we don't think that Epi is going to be like the best defensive lineman. Probably, like, out of that group of everybody from both eras, I think we're we're all in agreement that we think that Epi is going to be the best one, right? Yes.
Say it, Sam.
Nodding their head. Okay. Can't see this. So, like, I think we're all fine with that. I think the other 3 of us believe that as a unit, the Adrian Claiborne-led one was better. So you're going to have to start to argue not specifically just for Epi, because that's not where the beef is at.
Okay, my second point for this group, Anthony Nelson. He had 23 sacks in 3 seasons as a player with the Hawkeyes. And he has 4 more sacks than anybody in the other group. Okay? No arguments there. I mean, you can't argue with that. He played 1 less season than those guys as well, so that's a big factor. 13.5 sacks for Hesse. Played all 4 years. Extremely dominant player, and he made a position switch, actually, from linebacker to defensive lineman. Very valuable. To tight end in the NFL now. But he has 181 tackles in his career. 181 is tied with Benz for second on this, comparing the other list. Only Claiborne's ahead of him with 192. So there are numbers that say that this group definitely has the potential to be better than the other group.
Sam, you want to take this one?
I don't know. I just feel like when you look at, I don't want to picture put it as a whole defense, the defense as a whole, because that 09 group was,
9, 10.
They were just like nobody could score on them. Like, the first 8 games of the year, nobody scored a rushing touchdown or something stupid like that. And stats. Anthony Nelson, AJ Epinesa, 2 of the best pass rushers to ever come through. What we had in 09, it was Benz and Claiborne. Benz was not the sack man at all. His arms were like 3 times his body length, so he just was batting shit down like Matt Nelson kind of. But I don't know. What are all their stats like added up together?
Okay.
Just without predicting AJ's as well, or do you already?
I have them right here, but the first group has 5 guys with Mike Daniels, and the second group has 4. So keep that in mind.
You should have added Chauncey. I'm kind of disappointed, not gonna lie.
All right, somebody pull his stats up quick while I read the 2009-2010 group. Totals, they had 789 tackles, 129.5 tackles for losses, and 65 sacks. Okay? And now, these numbers are without another group. This is the 2018 group for defensive line. 461 tackles, 95 tackles for loss, and 59.5 sacks, but that's with 3 less seasons compared to the other group. And so that sack number is only 5.5 off the pace. The tackle number is 20 or 31, just about 31, and the the last number was tackle for losses, and the total tackles number is off by a fairly wide margin, but that's because there's 3 less seasons and 1 less player here total. So that number is kind of skewed right now just looking at it. But
I think if we were to pull like rushing numbers against both teams, like the rushing yards allowed would be dramatically less from the 09 team. I just feel like they did a lot more than just sacks.
Felt so dominant as a defensive unit.
But you guys are considering the unit as a whole. That 2009-2010 defensive unit had Amari Spivey and Micah Hyde and Tyler Sash in the secondary. Like last year we had a bunch of freshmen running out there to try and play in the secondary for this team, aside from Big O and who else? Oh, Manny Ragumba. Didn't he transfer now, though?
Yeah. Matt
Hankins, but he missed some time last year, too. We had Julius Brents running out there. We had Riley Moss.
I think it's more the linebackers, though, than it is the secondary. That would be your more skewed argument. Because who was 09? Anger?
A.J. Eads, probably.
No, yeah. Gosh, he was good. Jeremiah Hunter, maybe?
Oh, gosh darn it. Let me check. Yeah, I mean, I think I've totaled it up before, and that 2009 team had 15 or 16 NFL players on their roster. So that's
just watch the Iowa football 2009 defense 6 seconds of hell video, and you'll need like 3 bottles of lube.
I prefer margarine.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, load.
Yeah. Pat Anger, Jeremiah Hunter, Tyler Sash, AJ Eads, Claiborne Klug, Vince Bavay, Brett Greenwood, Christian Ballard, Sean Prater, Jeff Tarpanian. Can I get an amen?
So that's probably the best.
Remember that hit he had against Michigan? Oh my gosh.
That's probably one of the best defenses Iowa's ever put on a field, though.
Probably the best that they've ever put on the field.
Yeah.
Like, as a full unit, there was not one single weak spot on that team, on that defense.
And if there was, it was Brett Greenwood, and he was a fucking beast.
Yeah.
That's how little there. No, yeah.
All
or
right.
Jeremiah Hunt, actually.
Okay, so would you guys like to make any arguments for the case? Because you guys are all clearly 2009, 2010. But we're only looking at defensive line, not a defense that is a whole unit.
The defensive line is a big part of the reason why that was one of the best defenses in Iowa history. I mean, the one from last year is clearly not.
And to make a poll, there's one way to settle this, Luke.
Yeah.
A Twitter poll.
Oh, Twitter poll's absolutely going up. But
I think for them.
What were you saying, Austin?
Well, I mean, they won the Orange Bowl that year and absolutely shut down Georgia Tech's triple option run.
Best rushing attack in the country.
And they absolutely shut that down. So
that was a crock of shit the whole time. The triple option blows.
They put up the numbers the entire season. They were averaging like 200-something rushing yards a game. We absolutely shoved it down their throat the whole fucking time.
In the mighty ACC, I bet.
Yeah. In the mighty. Before Clemson's reign of terror. Yeah, that was barely a Power 5 conference back then.
Good at that point in time down there.
Yeah, but we had one more football thing to talk about. Oh, did you guys see that 3 Hawkeyes were nominated for the College Football Hall of Fame today?
Clark.
Teppitz, I think.
Who?
Clark. Who? Okay, so Clark, Tim Dwight.
Marcus Coker?
No, not Marcus Coker. Let me find it here. I can't.
Brandon Weger.
No, it was an off. What'd you say?
Brandon Weger?
No, it was Iowa lineman, offensive lineman.
Oh, it was probably quarterback Marvin McNutt.
No, it was like Tippett. What? I can't.
Oh yeah. It was.
Oh yeah, Andre Tippett. What do we think about that? Think any of them got an actual shot to go in?
Dallas Clark.
James Danberg didn't make it?
Shut up, Joey. I think Tim Dwight and Clark have a very real shot of both making it.
Who's Tim Dwight?
Okay. Get out of here, Sam.
Super Bowl hero Tim Dwight.
Yeah, Super Bowl hero for the Atlanta Falcons. Beat the Vikings in the 99 playoffs.
Speaking of the Atlanta Falcons, I think Adrian Claiborne holds the record for most sacks in a game.
You guys
in the NFL on the Atlanta Falcons.
You guys,
he was one short of the NFL record. He set the Falcons record.
You guys are blinded by the NFL. Like, if those guys didn't make the NFL rosters, would you have the same opinion?
Is the NFL not like a great indicator of how great somebody was in college?
Not necessarily true. No, it's not.
What the fuck do you mean not necessarily true? Only the best college football players play in the NFL.
And all those guys played and are still playing, and it's been a long time.
All I'm saying is, if you're successful in college, that doesn't necessarily mean it will translate to the NFL. I mean, look at Akram Wadley. Granted, I think if he gets his shot, he's going to make people look like idiots for passing him up. But just because...
But we're not saying if you're successful in college, you'll be good in the NFL. We're saying if you're good in the NFL, that means that you were probably great in college.
I don't know.
What I'm saying is different than what you're saying, because there's tons of great college players that just aren't good in the NFL. But if you're like really good, Joey's holding up a Tim Tebow Jets jersey.
That's the perfect example.
But that's not the case with these guys. These guys went to NFL and experienced success.
All right, we're gonna put this on a Twitter poll. I'm kind of gonna be interested to see if there's a little.
Hey, make sure you put other than don't just vote, but give some feedback.
Oh yeah, I'll put it out. Yeah,
I'm ready to blast some hoes.
Don't scare them away. We encourage. That's
what Austin says on Saturday night.
Tonight's gonna be the most lit night on the HTR Twitter ever. Can I get that login though?
Hey, we'll see. We'll see about that.
We'll say it live on the podcast now for everybody to hear.
Yeah. Okay. So, we have one more what do we call it? Segment here. It's basically our only segment. We're bringing back Thoughts from Space. So, Austin Myers' cousin, he's anonymous. He is known as Space Cowboy, and he sends us his thoughts on what our topics were this week. So, Austin, do you have them ready to pop off?
I do.
That's what she said.
All right, this week's Thoughts from Space. Boy, what a shit show basketball has become. I think losing Jabo hurts a lot. He was the heart and glue. Even with all the good I've heard about incoming recruits and redshirts, you don't replace leadership in ice-cold veins. Who gives a fuck about Oliver Martin? He left his hometown for Michigan. I hope he goes 5 years and never sees the field. We have really good talent at wide receiver right now, and I think they can have a DJK type year. Interesting night game, but it's good. Shouldn't come out flat. This Miami, Ohio team isn't bad, and they played back into a game a few years ago. Students better show up, though. Scott Frost not only concerns me more than Fred, but actually concerns me. Fred was successful because he wanted it so bad. Alma mater means a lot to guys, and that's where Frost is. He probably doesn't leave for anything else. A little bit of momentum can lead to something big, especially in Nebraska, where IQs are low, cousins fuck, and the women are recruited to play offensive line.
Why is this guy not on the podcast?
I don't know.
We can have him sometime. We can have him sometime.
Yeah. Now I'm worked up because of how much I hate Nebraska. Thanks a lot. Better line was the first set. Many of those guys had NFL careers or are still playing. They dominated the pass and run game consistently for years. Granted, they had a better back seven than last year's class. I would still clone that first group. Final thought. Who eats broiled chicken? For fuck's sake, get it fried or just grill the damn things. It's slimy and gross, and there's no place for that here in the USA. Happy Father's Day to all those guys who have kids but don't know it. You're the real MVPs for dodging that bullet. Godspeed.
Oh, it's good to have him back. It's good to hear Space Cowboy again.
Incredible.
Yeah, he always brings the heat every week. Always. I don't know if you've ever been on a show, Sam, where we had Space Cowboy, had Thoughts from Space.
No, but I want to be.
Well, we'll talk about having him on. He's absolutely going to remain anonymous, but
yeah,
we'll talk.
We'll
about
have to like
face changer for him.
Change his voice.
I'll try. I could try that too. But fellas, we have anything else here, or otherwise, see you in a couple of weeks. We're gonna do these every 2 weeks. Come out on Tuesday mornings.
Raptors in 6.
That's probably not gonna happen.
Fuck Russell Westbrook.
That's just uncalled for. All right, but all right. Thanks for listening, everybody. As I mentioned, we're gonna come out with these every 2 weeks during the summer months here until football season starts up. Then we'll start pumping them out again once a week. and get back out to the tailgates and talk to people. You can follow me on Twitter at Myers_Luke. You can follow Joey at JoeMama2196. You can follow Sam Middleton at SAMMMIDD. And Austin Myers doesn't really have a Twitter. It's not operated by him, at least, so I can't really tell you what the Twitter name is. The show's Twitter is at @go_Hawks. Thanks for listening, everybody. And as always...
I got one thing that I want to throw out there before you sign off completely.
Okay.
Sorry. If anybody out there has any topics that they'd like to hear us debate in the next several weeks, you should shout us out, give us some good, interesting topics, and we'll do our best to give you a really probably poor argument for whichever side we decide to argue about.
And it will not help your case at all, and you will still be stuck in what you were thinking.
Yeah.
And also, I always like to argue about Hawkeye sports on Twitter, so hit me up. All right. Thanks for listening. Before Austin interrupts me again, I'm going to wrap it up, so go Hawks.